Hello, Kendall from Reddit Whiskey with a recap of my first attack from this war, and I apologize, I'm already doing a duplicate base. I was trying to keep from doing the same bases over and over again, and um, number 7 here, Jamie, had this really kind of cool layout with 4 double giant bomb possibilities, but I was going to showcase using hog pathing to remove double giant bomb locations, and 2 minutes before the war starts, he flips over to the general, and I think I did the general, 3 or 4 wars ago. Now this layout is slightly different, and we'll go into what's different, but I apologize. We're doing it again. I already had it called. Actually, I already had my army built, so I had to dump a few hogs to pick up some balloons. But the key components of the general, and what you're usually always going to see, is there's a double giant bomb set here. There's a double giant bomb set here. And then you've got Tesla here, Tesla here. And then I've seen a bunch of different variations. You can have kind of Teslas up here. You can have Teslas here on the outside. The one thing that I noticed on this base, though, that was very different is normally this wall is straight across here, and these expos are one tile down further. And that meant that, hey, potentially this wasn't a double giant bomb set, but I went ahead with the assumption that that's what it's going to be, and it really wouldn't have mattered no matter how the layout was, because basically we'll show you once we get to how I was going to path my hogs. There's really no way you can hit this double giant bomb set, but kind of looking at this, my plan was I was going to send in at the very top. This is normally how you do the pull. You send in 2 balloons here, because let me actually show that here. Clan Castle, you can see the radius is right in there. Air defense is not really covering that archer tower at all. So what you can do is you can send in, again, 2 balloons here, and then I was going to do 2 balloons here and 2 balloons here. And the reason was I wanted to go ahead, if possible, just to take out these defenses. I was planning on sending my Golem and Barbarian King in this way, so those defenses would get taken out, so I wasn't worried about them. And that just kept my hogs from having to path up this far, so they'd kind of end over here on this archer tower, kind of out in the clear, so they could take out the Barbarian King next. But and then from there, as soon as I dropped those, I was going to send in 2 balloons down here. And this is probably a good point to talk about. Why send in 2 balloons down here when I'm going to send a bunch of hogs down in there, and the hogs will get that anyway? Well, if you kind of look here, there's a 1 tile space between these 2 buildings, which would be a really, really good place to put a spring trap. And I don't know if there's one there or not, but basically if my hogs are pathing over this way and they're pathing this way, a spring trap is going to take out 3 hogs. I can take out this archer tower, though, with 2 balloons. 2 is less than 3, so that makes sense to go ahead and use 2 balloons to take that out since there's no air defense coverage. So that was the reason I decided to go and do that. The other part was eventually I wanted to have my kill squad over here, and by sending these balloons down here, that was also going to start dragging the kill squad troops down so that I could then pull them over. So, that was the rationale behind doing that. So once that was done, I had the balloons all done. I was going to do my standard kind of kill squad over here. The normal, the 2 barbarians, staggered witches, archer queen, and wizards. From there, once they were kind of under control, I was going to send my golem in this way, wizard to break the trash ring here, 2 wall breakers to break that wall. Normally what happens is you get this golem, and that's what happened on mine. The golem kind of swings out and heads towards this archer tower, and usually when that occurs, this archer queen actually jumps out to this spot right here. So you don't really need to break in here, but it's always a good idea to send in the wall breakers just in case she gets behind this wall or not. But from there, I can send my Barbarian King in, and he will take out the Archer Queen. And then it's a 2-finger drop on the hogs. I'm going to send them in like this. What the goal is, I'd love for them to all path to this cannon first. Usually I don't get that lucky, though. Usually you get some that go up to the air defense, some of the cannon. And then from there, they kind of path like this. This Archer Tower is dead, so you're going to get a few of them that kind of path like this. They jump into that mortar, they jump into the Tesla, and you're going to see nothing ever goes near this double giant bomb set, because then they path up from here. You usually get this mortar gets taken out by the Archer Queen, so then you get some that jump over this way, but the rest of them kind of jump up in here. And that's kind of how you end up. So that's the plan from there. We're going to have heals. Go ahead and get your first heal down here. Sorry, that's not exactly a circle. Get your second heal down here. Got a lot of point defenses, though, here with these Teslas and the Expos, so I usually throw another heal right there. And that leaves me 1 more heal. And I think in this base, I actually threw this next heal a little early, or one of the heals I threw a little early, so I ended up having to use it like right here. But these defenses were taken out by my kill squad. These were dead by balloons, so that really only left one left, and then the Barbarian King. So that was the plan. We will get to the replay, and you're going to see everything kind of starts really well. 2 balloons, 2 balloons, 2 balloons, and then I send my 2 in from the bottom. So everything's going pretty well. Clan Castle gets pulled. I've got a witch, I've got 3 wizards and a few archers, so I should have the full pull. So we go ahead and send the barbarian in. There's no way to anchor point because of how close this is, so you just have to kind of feed barbarians in. But get my 2 in, get my witches in, staggered. And the reason you stagger witches is because then they're spawning skellies at different times, which helps you take out enemy witches a little better. But then I get my 2 wizards down. And you're going to see once they're a little under control, I go ahead and get my golem down. And the golem helps tanks a little bit too, so that's nice. Wizard down to break the trash ring. Wall breakers to get me into this compartment. Luckily, the Archer Queen jumps over just like I want her, so I can throw the Barbarian King down. As soon as this army camp goes down, he's going to move down and then take out the enemy Archer Queen. And I start my 2-finger drop on the hogs. And you see they're going to kind of come in. I get my first heal down. This heal is placed really poorly. That should have been up a good bit farther. This heal is exactly where I wanted it. This was poorly placed, and that's part of the reason I ended up having to throw another heal a little earlier than I wanted. But everything's kind of moving forward. They end up having all 4 of the Teslas right here in the core, so that's a lot of DPS. So I go ahead and throw my next heal down, even with some overlap there, so they're kind of getting double healed to keep them all alive. But you're going to see I completely skip, don't hit I don't hit any of the giant bombs at all. Kind of move forward, and they're almost out of the heal. I've got all of these skellies, so I go and just throw my last heal right there. They're going to take out kind of these last couple defenses. I get a couple that spawn over and hit this double giant bomb set, but it's just a few. So I've still got the majority of my hogs are still up. They're sitting under heal while they take this out. These last couple jump up here, come out and take out the Archer Tower, and that's it. I've got a couple wizards for cleanup. I dropped one here, just to kind of help, and got my Archer Queen, popped her ability. This is cleanup from here, so I'll just speed it up. So that's it. General's been beat so many different ways. If this is the base you're using, I would suggest changing. It's been seen too many times. But I hope this helped. If there's any questions or comments, please leave them below. And thank you very much for watching.